Some birthdays arrive like a celebration. Mine arrived like a verdict. I opened my eyes that morning expecting, no, not extravagance, just acknowledgement. A kiss, a whispered happy birthday, a card left on the nightstand. Something that said my wife remembered who I was and what the day meant. Turning 30 was a strange milestone for me, a line in the sand I'd been staring at for months, measuring myself against it, wanting to feel like I'd reached manhood with purpose, direction, identity. Instead, I woke to silence and the glow of her phone screen reflecting in her eyes. She didn't even look up when I entered the kitchen. No smile, no gesture, just a flat, distracted morning. Then she stood and grabbed her purse like she was late for something that didn't include me. "I'm meeting a friend for brunch," she said breezily. "Running late. Be back later." I stared at her. "It's Tuesday," I reminded her, gently, hopeful, confused. "You took today off work." She shrugged. "Needed a day. See you tonight." And she walked out. No birthday wishes, no apology, no flicker of realization. The door closed and the house felt hollow, like someone had scooped out the warmth and left the shell behind. I sat at the kitchen table for 20 minutes, trying to absorb what had happened. Maybe she was distracted. Maybe she was planning something. Maybe this was a setup for a surprise. I tried to give her every benefit of every doubt until my brother texted. "Happy 30th, bro. Big day. What did she get you?" That message punched me in the chest. It confirmed what I didn't want to believe. She actually forgot, or worse, she pretended to. The rest of the day crawled by. I worked from home, glancing at the door every time I heard a car outside. My parents called. Friends texted. Everyone remembered except the one person who had vowed to know me best. By 4 in the afternoon, something in me snapped into clarity. I opened our shared location app, the same one she insisted we use because it made her feel safe on work trips. Her location was unmistakable. A hotel downtown, not a restaurant, not a spa, a hotel. My stomach twisted. I called, straight to voicemail. Again, voicemail. I could have driven there. I could have stormed through the hallways pounding on doors, but instead a colder, sharper instinct took over. I Googled the hotel number. "Hi," I told the front desk. "This might sound unusual, but my wife is staying in one of your rooms, and it's my birthday. I'd like to send her a surprise cake." The receptionist was delighted, effortlessly cheerful. "How sweet. What room?" "I'm not sure," I said, "but the reservation is under her name." I gave it. Keyboard clicks. Then, "Found it. Room 304. And can you deliver the cake within the hour?" "Of course. Any message?" I paused. 3 seconds. That's all it took for everything inside me to harden into certainty. "Happy birthday to me. Enjoy the divorce." The line went silent. "Sir, are you sure about that message?" Never been more sure of anything. I paid. I hung up. And then I called a divorce attorney whose number I'd saved months ago for reasons I couldn't justify until now. Left a voicemail requesting an urgent consultation. Then I sat on my couch waiting for the reaction. At 5:43 p.m., my phone started vibrating. My wife called. Declined. Called again. Declined. Then came the text. "What the hell? Why would you do this? You're embarrassing me. Call me right now." "This isn't funny." I didn't reply. I screenshotted everything. Then an unfamiliar number called. I answered. A woman's voice hissed, "What is wrong with you? Who is this?" "Her friend. You humiliated her in front of everyone." "Everyone," I repeated. "Interesting. I thought she was just with you." Silence, then venom. "You're a psycho. She deserves better." "Great," I said calmly. "She can have better without being married to me." I hung up. At 7 p.m., the lawyer returned my call. I explained the situation. He actually laughed, not mockingly, but incredulously. "So you sent a divorce cake to the hotel where your wife was? With whom exactly?" "That," I said, "is the million-dollar question. But it wasn't me, and it was my birthday." He offered a 9 a.m. appointment, told me to bring financial documents, told me we'd talk strategy. My wife came home at 9:30 p.m., slamming through the door like a storm cloud. "What the hell was that?" she demanded. "A cake," I replied. "For my birthday, since you forgot." "I didn't forget. I was planning a surprise party this weekend." I raised an eyebrow. "At a hotel?" Her face went crimson. "It's not what you think." "Oh, what do I think? That you spent my birthday in a hotel room with friends while I sat alone at home?" "We were just drinking," she snapped. "Someone got a room to keep hanging out." "Someone?" I asked. "Whose name was on the room?" "Because the hotel happily told me." She stumbled over her words. I didn't bother helping her. I simply told her, "I have a lawyer appointment tomorrow. You should get one." She tried tears next. She tried sympathy. She tried outrage. She tried every tone a desperate person cycles through when their script fails. You can't throw away 4 years of marriage over a misunderstanding. "You forgot my milestone birthday," I said. "Spent it in a hotel, hid it, lied about it, and I'm the bad guy for sending a cake?" "No, I'm done pretending." I went to the guest room, locked the door, slept better than I had in months. The next days became a blur of clarity. The lawyer told me I was in a strong position. The house, joint. But I'd paid 80% of the down payment with inheritance. The pinball machines, my passion, my investment, my collection, 6 restored classics worth around $45,000, all purchased either before marriage or solely with my funds. Documented. Receipts, serial numbers, photos, restoration logs, proof. When I cataloged them, I felt something unexpected. Peace, purpose, identity rediscovered. Meanwhile, her mother texted, blaming me for humiliating her daughter. I replied once, pointed her to attorneys, and blocked her. When my wife finally returned home, I was in the garage working on a 1978 8-ball machine, hands steady, mind sharp. She said we needed to talk. "Talk to my lawyer," I answered without looking up. She tried indignation. She tried softness. She tried bargaining. Then she showed her real motivation. "Fine," she snapped. "I want half of the machines, and half the house, and spousal support since I make less." There it was. Not love, not remorse, entitlement. I told her to discuss it legally. She insisted the machines were hers because we were married. I reminded her she used to call them garage trash. She shifted again, voice trembling, trying to sound fragile. "Baby, please. I love you. I messed up. Can we go to counseling? Can't we fix this?" "No," I said, finally meeting her eyes. "Because the second I questioned you, your first instinct was to figure out what you could take from me." She cried. She asked where she was supposed to go. I reminded her she had parents. She accused me of kicking her out. I told her we'd sell and split, or one of us could buy the other out. She waited for me to fold. I didn't. And when she realized it, she left. The legal papers came soon after, demanding half of everything, including my machines, inflated valuations, spousal support, and car payments she'd saddled me with years earlier. My lawyer reviewed it and smirked. Standard tactics, weak footing, we would counter. Then came the rumor. The gym friend. 6 months. Emotional affair, hotel confirmation, lies unraveling. And that was where everything shifted. The rumor about the gym guy wasn't speculation, it was confirmation. My brother heard it from his girlfriend, who heard it from someone who worked with my wife. A chain of whispers that led to a truth she hadn't intended to surface. 6 months she'd been talking to him. 6 months of secret workouts, shared routines, private messages. 6 months of companionship she never mentioned, while telling me she was just tired or not in the mood or too stressed lately. I confronted her over text, brief, controlled, surgical. "So the man at the hotel was the gym buddy you've known 6 months? Want to revise your story?" Her response was immediate and panicked. "Who told you that? That's a lie." I sent his actual name. "You don't have a workout buddy named Pim." Then, "We're just friends. Nothing happened. We just talked." In a hotel room, on my birthday, that you forgot. She tried to retreat behind her old shield. "I was planning something for the weekend." I replied, "5 days have passed. Where's the surprise? No answer, just silence thick enough to choke on. Then her father called. Unlike her mother, he didn't come at me with accusations. He sounded worn, embarrassed, resigned. He asked if divorce wasn't too drastic. With all respect, I told him, she spent my milestone birthday in a hotel with another man and lied about it. What would you do? A long pause. I'd be furious, he admitted. Exactly. And I'm handling it legally and calmly. He sighed, said she claimed I was taking everything from her. I'm taking what's mine, I corrected. She'll get her fair portion of marital assets. Nothing more. He didn't argue, he understood, even if he wished he didn't. Meanwhile, I slept better, ate better, breathed better. I started restoring a 1980 firepower machine. My hands steady, my mind uncluttered. It grounded me, reminded me of the version of myself I liked. The version she'd chipped away at without me noticing. Then came the deposition. Her lawyer tried to paint me as controlling, vengeful, unstable. He called the cake message cruel and humiliating. I answered calmly, truthfully, unshakably. Compared to abandoning your spouse on their birthday for another man, a cake was practically polite. My lawyer was quietly pleased. Then came her turn. Under oath, her story collapsed in slow motion. She admitted the gym guy was there, admitted she'd spent time alone with him, admitted she never mentioned him to me in 6 months. My lawyer produced texts taken via legal discovery, messages between gym guy and a friend. He finally got her to the hotel. About time. She said she should leave her husband soon. Her face drained of color. She tried to claim misunderstanding, misinterpretation, confusion. No one in the room believed her, not even her own attorney. 2 days later, I received a message from Jim Guy's ex. She sent screenshots, months of flirtation, secret meetups, my wife venting about her dead marriage, hinting she wanted out, hinting she wanted him. Not explicit, but damning. My lawyer smiled, genuine satisfaction. This strengthens our position, hurts her spousal support claim, shows fault. Even in a no-fault state, this matters. Then the next tactic arrived. The boldest, the most predictable. She showed up at my apartment. Her eyes were puffy, her voice rehearsed. Can I come in? No. Please, I need to tell you something. Say it from there. She took a breath like an actress preparing for a dramatic confession. I'm pregnant. My pulse froze, but my mind didn't. How far along? 2 months, she said softly. 2 months placed conception right around my birthday, right around the hotel. One question, I said. Mine or the gym guy's? Her face twisted in outrage. How can you even ask me that? Pretty easily. She tried righteous indignation, hurt innocence, trembling betrayal, all of it worn out theater. It's yours, she insisted. We were together 2 months ago. And how many times have you been with him since? I wasn't. Those texts don't prove anything physical. So you're certain it's mine? Yes. Great. We'll do a paternity test when the baby's born. If it's mine, I'll pay child support. If not, it's not my concern. She stared at me, stunned that I wouldn't jump back into her orbit. You're not even considering getting back together for the baby? Not even remotely. You'd let your child grow up in a broken home? My child would grow up watching a father with dignity, better than watching one who gets walked on. She tried tears again. I made a mistake. Can't you forgive me? No. See you in court. I shut the door. My lawyer wasn't surprised, only cautious. A real pregnancy would complicate everything. Custody, support, long-term entanglement. But we would wait for proof. Her lawyer then sent a letter claiming she needed the house for the baby, needed medical expenses covered, needed a larger settlement for stability. My lawyer responded with precision. Paternity must be established before any discussion of child-related terms. Client will address custody and support only for his biological child. Her lawyer sent back outrage. My lawyer shut it down in one sentence. Then she shouldn't have been in a hotel with another man on her husband's birthday. Checkmate. Meanwhile, the house sold. After mortgage payoff, we each walked away with about $62,000. Not ideal, but clean. I moved into a new apartment and transported all my pinball machines. Difficult, exhausting, but deeply satisfying. I set up a full game room, finished the firepower machine, Invited friends over. For the first time in months, I laughed without forcing it. One friend brought his sister, a woman who loved retro arcade culture. We talked for hours. I got her number. I wasn't ready to date, but for the first time, the idea didn't feel heavy. The divorce approached trial, but her demands softened, meaning her lawyer finally told her she was standing on legal sand. She wanted her half of the house proceeds, fine. A reduced portion of my retirement, negotiable. 8 grand for the pinball machines, absolutely not. 1 year of spousal support, laughable. Me covering her car payments, no longer happening. My lawyer drafted a counter, her half of the house. 35% of retirement accumulated during marriage. $0 for the machines. Separate property proven. Zero spousal support. Car loan transferred to her responsibility. Only one sticking point remained. She couldn't stand that she would get nothing from the machines. Not because she wanted them, but because she hated that I kept something she couldn't touch. Tolerating a spouse's hobby, my lawyer wrote, does not entitle them to its value. The message landed. 3 months later, a settlement was reached. No trial, no courtroom drama, no last-minute theatrics. Final terms. House proceeds split. She received 35% of retirement earned during marriage. She got nothing from the machines, no spousal support, car loan and title transferred to her alone. Each paid their own legal fees. My total legal cost, about $8,500, worth every cent. As for the pregnancy, it dissolved quietly. 2 weeks after we demanded a paternity test and formal verification, she claimed she miscarried. My lawyer and I both suspected she fabricated it entirely. Maybe she lied, maybe she didn't. Either way, it no longer belonged to me. The divorce finalized last week. Judge's signature. Done. Paper sealed. Chapter closed. She attempted one final contact, an email that began, "I know you." And that was all I needed to see before deleting it, blocking her address, and walking away for good. Because she didn't know me anymore, and she never would again.